From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
After I've annihilated every single girl in the sorority house, I'll take to the streets of Isla Vista and slay every single person I see there. All those popular kids who live such lives of hedonistic pleasure while I've had to rot in loneliness for all these years. They've all looked down upon me every time I tried to go out and join them. They've all treated me like a mouse. Well, now, I will be a god compared to you. You will all be animals. You are animals, and I will slaughter you like animals. I'll be a god, exacting my retribution on all those who deserve it. And you do deserve it.
Well, that's Elliot Rodger, who is the alleged shooter of 7 people that died. Well, 3 of them he reportedly stabbed first. So we're going to see a move to ban guns, which we're already seeing, but not knives. And, of course, California already has extremely draconian victim disarmament laws, and it's in most cases, these shooters are these trendy wannabes, narcissists who are under psychiatric evaluation and drugs. And I think if you study it, it has been the case in most other cases, that he'll end up being on psychotropics. The larger issue here is that the Southern Poverty Law Center, CIA-run feminist groups, you name it, are running around in circles right now saying, see, we got to ban guns. And they've got some of the victims' family members out saying, you know, this is a monstrosity of craven cowardice of the NRA. Well, what about the local knife manufacturers or knife sellers? Are they to blame? No, it's not the knife's fault. Even though he killed 3 of the 7, or almost half the people, reportedly, allegedly, with a knife. Stabbed 3 people at a sorority house to death and then went off to kill, quote, blondes. And, I mean, this guy just comes off as an incredibly narcissistic punk creep who was constantly calling the police, they're reporting in the Santa Barbara News. The sheriff's department's had a press conference. If someone he lived with he thought stole candles worth $22, or if he got in a fight with somebody and somebody kicked his butt, he would call the cops on him. But I got to tell you, if he'd have gone and become a politician or a corporate leader, he could have been a world ruler, because he has this attitude of, I'm going to be a god. I'm going to run your life. And that's the type of people that end up being in power is people that are absolutely weak and crave dominating others. So, as I say many times, we see news articles, we see events that become kind of skeleton keys or Rosetta Stones to understand a lot. Elliot Rodger's parents warned police weeks before the mass shooting. But it's just in the case of the Aurora shooter, and that was government all the way. We've gone over that ad nauseum. I mean, that is cut and dry, a staged event. Probably wasn't even the actual shooter there. And then you look at Sandy Hook, that's totally staged. I don't know if this is staged. He looks like he's acting in this video, but narcissists, nutballs, homicidal narcissists come off like this because it is this image of themselves. That's why most actors are narcissists. And we have a lot of artificial narcissism in this very sick, decadent society we've entered. But Hunger Games connection to Sandy Hook and Aurora raises conspiracy theories. That's the Examiner. I'm not going there yet. If it turns out he was on the CIA payroll like Tamerlan Tsarnaev, the supposed mastermind of the Boston bombings, and if it turns out he had cover names and things, and if it turns out there were drills, you know, then I'll start saying it looks like it's a staged event. But this sick culture stages stuff on its own. There are a lot of sick people out there. And the reason we have guns, notice it was police had to take this guy out. I guarantee he pulls this somewhere in Texas, he's going to get taken out real quick by citizens before the cops even get there. And the statistics show that. We're going to break it all down straight ahead. Oh, by the way, it's up on drudgereport.com, our article. A lot of people are thinking he's sexy now. Hi folks, Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his 2-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage, or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex.
There are, of course, those who do not want us to speak.
Just let me think.
In fact, even now, orders are being shouted into telephones, and men with guns will soon be on their way.
It's Chancellor Sutler.
Damn it.
Why? Because while the truncheon may be used in lieu of conversation, words will always retain their power. Words offer the means to meaning, and for those who will listen, the enunciation of truth. And the truth is, there is something terribly wrong with this country, isn't there?
You designed it, sir. You wanted it foolproof. You told me every television in London.
Cruelty and injustice, intolerance and oppression. And where once you had the freedom to object, to think and speak as you saw fit, you now have censors and systems of surveillance coercing your conformity and soliciting your submission.
We need cameras.
How did this happen? Who's to blame? Well, certainly there are those who are more responsible than others. They will be held accountable. But again, truth be told, if you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror. I know why you did it. I know you were afraid. Who wouldn't be? War, terror, disease. There were a myriad of problems which conspired to corrupt your reason and rob you of your common sense. Fear got the best of you, and in your panic you turned to the now High Chancellor Adam Sutler. He promised you order, he promised you peace, and all he demanded in return was your silent, obedient consent.
There is a war. It's happening now. It will decide the fate of humanity. The time to choose sides has come. We are the resistance. We are the InfoWar. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen, on this Sunday, the 25th day of May, 2014. And we have a lot of, obviously, vital news to cover here today. First and foremost will be the new massive attack on the Second Amendment, trying to create collective guilt of all American gun owners for what appears to be a narcissistic, spoiled, demonic, sickening, full of himself, pus-filled son of the director of the Hunger Games, pig, Elliot Rodger, who went out and stabbed 3 people to death and shot 4 other people to death. Oh, but you have to dig into the police reports and the police press conference to the Sheriff's Department's press conference in Santa Barbara. The police were telling the truth about it. Almost half the people that were killed with a knife. But you're not going to hear a lot about that because they haven't gotten us ready to ban knives yet. They are making people get licenses in some cities in England, and they're trying to get a nationwide law passed that to have a butcher knife, you have to have a license. Because obviously it's butcher knives that kill tens of thousands of people every year in England, not criminals. The butcher knives come out at night on their own and go around. It's like in Japan and China where they've got guns basically banned. Every few weeks you hear about somebody on a rampage that kills 10, 14 people, 16 people. It's ridiculous. Some homicidal killer, by the way, is not going to follow a law banning a knife or banning a gun. They're going to get them. They're going to use them. And it's places like Southern California, it's Chicago, New York, D.C., where they have the most restrictive gun laws in the nation that you have the highest crime rates. And I know you as an audience know that. I know you as an audience know that the Justice Department 2 years ago released numbers that they tried to hide, that since 1992, there's been a 52% violent crime drop nationwide. And that is mainly, and they have to admit that, due to concealed carry proliferating nationwide. Within 2 years in Florida, in the 90s, of them passing concealed carry, carjackings went down 97%. Look it up. Kennesaw, Georgia passed a law making you own a gun. Crime rate dropped 90+%. Texas, after concealed carry, overall crime dropped 20+%. Carjackings became almost unknown. Remember all the carjackings in the 80s and 90s? You don't hear about those anymore, do you? Unless it's Chicago or New York. Because you try to carjack most people in Texas, they will blow your butt off. And having the citizens armed is just like having more cops on the street. The criminals don't like it. And they know. If you're driving a pickup truck in Texas, you get left alone, folks, because the criminals know statistically somebody driving a pickup truck is going to have a gun. That's well known in the criminal circles that they hit a hippie. They'll go after some woman in a little car. They'll go after folks with Obama stickers on their cars because they know you're a chump and you want to be victimized. There's a lot of facets to this story. Quite frankly, even though it's tragic, 7 people being killed, I mean, over 1 million Iraqis, the British Medical Journal said, since 2003 have died from the war or complications from it. That's 1,000,001, actually. 1,100,000 people have died. And that's like, oh, that's collateral damage, no big deal. You know, it's a good war. And, you know, after all, Saddam launched 9/11. No, it was actually Saudi Arabia, but whatever, just ignore that. Whatever, 1,000,000+ people dead. That's okay. But then 7 people die, and you would think watching CNN, MSNBC, and the rest of the state-run media that the end of the world happened. Now, you watch. It's going to come out that this guy was on some type of psychotropic drugs. It's going to come out that he was a big liberal. Guaranteed. I mean, you can just listen to him. And the spoiled brat in what looks like a late model BMW. And in designer shirts, his dad was one of the main directors on the Hunger Games. That's confirmed. And he's such a sniveling coward that he was constantly calling the police on people that lived with him, saying they'd stolen candles from him and stuff. And he'd attack somebody and they fought back. He'd call the cops on him. The guy, you're not meant to breed. That's why the women don't want you, is because you're a coward and a jellyfish and a piece of trash. The alleged shooter. I don't know if he really did the shooting, probably did, but I know this. The video we're about to play of the reported alleged Santa Barbara shooter is, when I say trendy, this is what I'm talking about.
After I've annihilated every single girl in the sorority house, I'll take to the streets of Isla Vista and slay every single person I see there. All those popular kids who live such lives of hedonistic pleasure while I've had to rot in loneliness for all these years. They've all looked down upon me every time I tried to go out and join them. They've all treated me like a mouse. Well, now, I will be a god compared to you. You will all be animals. You are animals, and I will slaughter you like animals. I'll be a god, exacting my retribution on all those who deserve it. And you do deserve it.
Man, this guy deserved to have his ass kicked, excuse my French. I mean, before he ever did any of this. And that's that person's problem, is that he was so sheltered and so insecure. I mean, not a bad-looking young man overall, driving a BMW. I mean, when I was 22 years old, I could pick up unlimited, 3 girls a day if I wanted to. I have no idea these weirdo guys who just have zero success with women, and then they're so hateful towards everyone out there because they have the issue and the women pick up on the creepiness. Now, after he reportedly committed this atrocity, and the story's up on Infowars.com, and it's also up on Prison planet.com.